Welcome to the great brick count of 2024. Afternoon all. Got sleepers in and first course of bricks down this side. Then you will see now, hopefully, if you didn't understand before, what I was meaning about the levels. So up at this end, it's only just showing the bricks here, and down here you've obviously got almost a full brick on show down this end. So I had to get that one obviously in level first. Sleepers we've put in already, haven't put the flags back in yet, I'll do that afterwards. I think, well I will do now. Whether I should have or not, I'm not 100% sure, because again it's which one do you do first. I've got to cut it round this and but anyway, I'll sort that out. So next job really is to put another course on here, which gets us up to the height we need, and then from that we then have two sleepers, which gets us up to, I think we said about 530 with a cement joint. So up here. So this sleeper's just going to be just sat behind this, and these will be sat down a little bit. And that then means we can fill all this section in. Obviously I've got to do that end with the stone.
Yeah, there's a bit of a gap over here.
Yeah, which we'll sort. Got a plan for that. So yeah, so basically just got to do another course through here, and that course of bricks will then come up to this point here, where I can then join in with this wall right here and this tunnel malarkey here.
Which I can't see from where I'm stood.
Which you can't see.
Let's go around here. There we go. Tunnel.
So on the last episode, we asked you to put down in the comments what you thought this was. And for everybody who put down hedgehog hole, you were correct. That's exactly what it is. So we do have hedgehogs in the garden that we have seen. In fact, we've been working out here and they've scuttled the way past. So we wanted to make sure, because we were closing off this end and this bit, they can't really go up steps very easy. We wanted to give them a route out. So this, it won't have the pipe in it. This is just so I can do my little brick arch that I'm hoping to do. But that gets them out and means we can get to the front of the garden. There is then going to be another one down at this end through here, which I've cut the fence panel a little bit so they can get out that way as well, because previously they could sort of scurry just underneath it. They could do a bit of the thing and get underneath, so I've given them a way out. So that will again be like a little stone opening or something through that section. So once I've got this course of bricks on, I then have to manage to do this brick arch, which is going to be fun, trying to get that in, but it looked cool. So yeah, I need to use up a little bit of cement and then probably to put another mix on, do another row of bricks. Another row of bricks here. Obviously when we get to this point round here somewhere, we'll have to do some more here, because that's where the sleeper comes to, but for now just a second one on here, and that means then I'll probably move over and do some more on that section while this sets.
Yeah, I think we might have to actually put the sleepers in place before you wall the other ones.
Before I wall? Well, yes. Yes and no. It'd be easier if they weren't in place.
Some marker as to where they come. We may have to test fit them.
Yeah, well we know what length they are, so I just need to do it from that end.
Well, yes. The less time we have to move the sleepers around, the better.
And wall up straight to it, and then...
Because them things are heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, they're heavy things. Because when we put the sleepers in, we've got to fill in behind them, because I'm not fixing them to any of this, so we can't just really stack them, because I think they'll fall over. They've got to be packed behind, and to do that, this bit's got to be finished. So
chicken and egg scenario here.
Yeah, another one. Yeah, you've just got to go through all these things. Try and not run into or make problems with yourselves. Right, I will keep on walling. We are nearly done with walling. Nearly. I've not got many bricks left.
No, true.
Probably got too many though, looking at how many I have got. Oh, well. welcome to a midsummer's evening walling with Rob, who's just run out of cement, so that's it. Sorry. But you can have a look at what I've been doing. So I have got a few courses on here, a few courses on there, and 1 or 2 courses down here as well, which was 3 mixes of cement, 3 1 bucket mixes of cement to get that bit done, or rather 1 of sand, 1/4 of cement. But anyway, we've yeah, so this section right here is the right level now. This tape is identifying as a sleeper, so that is where the sleepers are going, 2 of them. And then I've got to put these on here, basically, which will need the last one cut in, but you get the idea. Just be cement joints will be a bit bigger than that. So I'll trim the last one, and then this walled section is coming up to, well, should be level with this, in theory. Should be level with that. That stays where it is. This is all coming up to this level, saving this corner, so I need to get over my hedgehog tunnel all the way across there.
Which is looking gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a little bit rough, but it's alright.
There's a lot of things in the way, so it's
I'm
quite
not sure the hedgehog's going to complain, really.
I think it's cool.
It is architectural and build quality being a little bit iffy, but you know, it's usable. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
So yeah. So annoyingly, I've just run out of cement, so I can't get that one on in there.
Really starting to get a sense of that gap that's going to be there for the boxes now.
Yes.
We're not even full height yet.
Nope. No.
So in fact, if I come back here a bit, the breeze block wall is full height.
Yes.
So
I've got to come up.
Another 2 courses on those ones.
2 courses on there. But we are nearly there. So once I've got that one put on in there, I've then got to remember. In fact, I'll probably do it now. Is to
bend the wall ties across,
so that they're sat on the wall.
better do this one as well, the left hand one over here.
Because inevitably you will wall the next course and forget that you need to put the wall tie in. Something like that. And there you go. So that just stops. I mean, there's not going to be a whole lot of force in here, but as we're going to concrete the top of this, you just don't want those 2 walls to pop apart, so that will assist with that. And obviously we've got some more down this section as well. I have put some in where the sleepers are going, because the plan there will be to probably put some big screws or something in the back of the sleeper and then tie it off to it. Not really sure it will hold a whole lot, but it's something. It's an attempt, just to mainly in this where it can bow, because obviously it can hit the fence posts there, but this middle section might go, so these 2 are there just to help with that one. That one at that end I might be able to tie into the stone bit that it's probably going to go this way, something or other, or the sleeper, one or the 2, one or the other. But yeah, that's it for this evening, because the sun has set.
Pretty much.
And I'm out of cement and energy.
Time for cake.
Let's go have some cake. That sounds good to me. But the weather is looking good for the next few days, so if I can avoid work, I mean complete my work that I need to do to actually earn a living, then I can get out here and we'll do some walling.
Sounds good.
That'll do. See ya. Afternoon all, and we have another update of thrilling walling. Yeah, more walling. Nearly there though. Nearly there. this is the height we're coming to. Although not walled yet, obviously. We are not far off. One slight problem we might run into, the pile of bricks that I thought was doing fairly well, we've put a few more courses on and it has dropped quite quickly, so we think we're probably short now, but we'll see. We're working on a plan for that one. But yeah, I just need to finish off this section here and then add a bit more to the front and bits and pieces like that, but that's walling, so you've all seen that. Over here though, we've put the sleepers in, so possibly not the final time, but we shall see. But we've put them in just to confirm that we're right with how we did it, basically. So yeah, so they're stacked on top of each other. There's nothing behind them currently. That obviously needs its infill and bits and pieces. There's a little bit, maybe trimming just to get them to fit up against the wall at this end, but otherwise they are about right.
A very noisy helicopter somewhere.
There is a noisy helicopter about. But once I've got the wall done there, I will fill this bit in, basically. But we'll have a look at what's happening down in this corner. So down here we've put some stones in. Obviously not cemented them in yet, they're just placed in, and we're not really sure this is the correct formation we're going to use. This one's probably in the right place, and this is our or another hedgehog tunnel. So it's going to head through there and it's got a hole at the back. So there's a little bit of work to cover this up in bits and pieces. But this section here is the bit we keep moving around and playing with. We don't want it as, or rather I don't want it as a stone wall straight up, because the track doesn't follow it and I'm just not sure we've got the right stone for doing that left. So I want it a bit rougher, and ideally we want to get some plants in front of the track, because the track is actually, if I try and visualise it, around here, heading round. So it's further back, especially at this point here. So if we can try and get some planted in front, that'd be good. So we're sort of thinking we might have to halve some of these stones round the front, get some soil behind them, some bigger plants to grow up, and then more wall where the track is. So it just creates a bit more of vegetation in front of the track there. But we're going to have to play about with this a bit more. Not really a priority right now, it's just we thought we'd last night put a few in and have a play with how it looked. So yeah, so more walling. Sorry. Welcome to the great brick count of 2024. Because as you can see, we've had to count how many bricks we've got left. And thankfully, this is how many spares we're going to end up with. As long as I perfectly break them, wall them, etc. But I think we'll be alright. So we've laid them all out on the wall, because we've walled up to this point. We just want to lay them all out on top. Looking a little bit like dominoes currently, with the doubles across, which are the ones that need cutting. But yeah, we thought we were going to be short, but clearly I didn't count correctly in the pile out front, which means we have got enough. So come around, there are gaps here, which is where the lintels that we haven't yet got come across, so that's why there's gaps there. There will have to be some halves actually on the end of here, so that's one spare gone. Half. No, there won't.
No, there won't. Yeah,
no, there won't.
We've got 5.
One spare back.
Yes. I was just thinking that. No, it
yeah,
does
no,
come
we don't need
all
one
the way to the
there.
front.
Yeah, so round here we're going to leave. Well, we might leave a course off here. This is where the 4-foot radius track will come in here somewhere.
I can show it.
So I can drop it down a little bit here, and I might put some of the black edging that I've still got across there, which will just be better then for the planting that's going in this section. Can come further up to the edge and it hides this brick, which should mean all the way up to here is sort of all plants, not looking down on brick. Obviously you'll see it on the face, but
it gives us some more options.
Yeah, a little bit more soil is what we're trying to get out of it. And then if you want to come down this corner, you'll see things have progressed fairly quickly, really, especially as all this was done, well actually it wasn't, some of this was done earlier today, but the walling was all done last night. My dad very kindly came across and walled this bit for us because he's stone walling expert. He just seems to have a vision for it. So he's put these in. I've just sat these, a couple at the top here, in for now. But then this morning I filled in the back with these concrete blocks. So just to cover off the plan, this is roughly where the track is. Obviously at this end it's actually on the wall, but just for now it's set against there. And then behind me it's coming onto the sleeper. So I've walled concrete blocks stood upright like this underneath here, and then laid these on top, because the plan then up from here is to do a very small slither stone wall up, which I'll show you later on, but I needed it a bit wider than obviously one concrete block width would do, which is actually an idea that my dad gave me, to wall them across like that. This one is actually hedgehog tunnel top, and there is another one underneath here. Well, there's this one and some other little bits and pieces in there as well, so that stops all the soil from dropping out under here. And then yeah, I've just filled the soil in for now. Next steps are obviously this bit, but we need to put something round here.
Okay, so
To
there's a bit of a hole.
Yes, to stop all this soil coming out this way. So we'll have to come up with a bit of a stone wall there. It could be dropped down a little bit here and work its way up. It doesn't have to be up here, because obviously plants can come up. And then actually behind me, in here, we need to come up to the height we need for the sleeper to come across. And that will be, yeah, sort of this sort of size stone wall here. And then my bit is going to be the bit that comes off the back of that and round and links in with the other one, which is here. So yeah, I'm trying to make it sort of like a hillside there, a bit of a hillside sort of here, and my walls going between them.
This plan changed 3 times in one morning.
Oh yeah, it
never
did, yeah,
mind
it keeps
like
changing,
a day.
but that's the current version, and that's what we've built so far. So that's probably going to be the version. So yeah.
It's
so
all sort of dependent on what we've got left, because we don't have a huge amount of stone left.
Well,
Or
yeah.
not big stones.
No, we've still got a few left.
Well,
so
we've got those
I think
two,
we're going to be
yes.
fine for this bit. Now we've got to this stage, it's actually taken less stone than I thought it might, so we're doing all right, I think. But yeah, basically infill I've got to do down this section. Have got some infill down at the bricks.
Yes, there is.
So obviously from here round is going to be a concrete cast. So this needs to be solid. So in here we've got a load of old bricks and bits and pieces like that. Rubble. What I sort of do is put bigger bits in, smaller bits in, your fines and everything, and then another layer of thick stuff on top and fill in between to sort of bring the level up. So on this section here, not really going to be able to come up much more, because we've got to get the turntable sunk in into this section. So I need to think about that before I fill it all the way up. This one can come up a fair bit more yet, and then we'll do a concrete cast of a few inches on top of that to yeah, finish it all off at the top. Once I've got lintels in, which
Yes.
I haven't yet ordered, because I might need some more cement and other things like that, so that might be a little bit of a wait for those. But yeah, we'll slowly start working our way up and go from there. Sleepers, I managed to trim a little bit off the bottom of this one, so that's now fitting a bit tighter, so I'm happy that they're in the right position now, so I can start filling basically. Morning! You'll be glad to know all the brick walling has been completed. So all the sections in. There is a bit of a gap here. I'm just waiting on some lintels coming so that I can bridge this section across. and then we can get the concreting done each side of it. But this is the finished height of this new station area. And what I've done now is lay out a few bits and pieces to make sure that I have actually built it where I should have built it. So we'll start in this corner where we're coming off the lines heading up to what we're calling the extension around the front. So we discussed we've got one 38-inch radius round, which will be the main one into this station area, coming off a 38-inch radius point here into our three-way point here. That then fans out across the lintels to this end with 3 tracks, and comes into the turntable, which actually I've sat this close, but actually it's probably more back in here somewhere at that really bad angle. Then just 3 little tracks off on here, basically just for parking your locos when they're cooling down. Those tracks will come into there. We might then also, depending on how many points we've got on things, we might have a track that runs through, or we'll decide on that one, but that's how this bit's going to work. 3 tracks is a nice distance back, you can still reach the back one. We might put some buildings down the back in time, but that's kind of the idea there. There is new sort of fencing to go on the back of here. We're not using the old one. We're going to put some new
yeah, we're putting those boards on, yeah, like
boards.
we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, on the back here.
Or possibly the previous video. I've lost track of where we are in video terms.
Yeah, but that'll tidy up all that bit. There's also then a 4-foot radius here at the front, which is coming round. So that's what we put some bricks in the wall here that I've shown before that are coming off. I've got them a little bit too far this way, but that's fine because I kind of prefer them to be too far this way. So when we come to concrete all this section in, we're going to come round this corner, and then we'll just do a bit of a curve on, or an angle just on there, so that then the soil can come up to this line. But it comes in, I've got to get something across this corner that we're just wondering what we're going to do with that, but
we have some ideas.
We have some ideas, and that then comes into this front line. So there'll be a point here that will join up with this one, so you can head out on that line or this one. The reason we've done it like that is if you're steaming up in here and you're wanting to run round, you can come through this point and into this section and head back and run round your train without getting onto the main line. If you're on the 4-foot one, obviously when you come back to run round, you're onto the main line, so that's
well,
the reason
you
why
also
I've got
wouldn't be on a
there.
4-foot bit of track to run round.
No, you wouldn't be, but anyway.
So you may just
that's
have
the reason.
to...
The 4-foot is an escape route, but you can't shunt round, so that's why the 38-inch radius is there.
Yes.
Heading down this section, we left a little bit out to put some of the black plastic in, which I cut the other day when it wasn't this warm, and then I came out this morning and it's a bit tight in there now, so I've got to trim a little bit off that.
Sunshine's warmed it up a bit.
Sunshine's warmed it up, so today's a good day to get the correct length of that. I don't mind if there's a gap when it's cold, soil doesn't tend to fall out of it anyway. But doing that rather than bricks all the way along just means we can get the planting a bit closer to the front, because especially at this point we're quite narrow, because we need to cast a little bit more on the back here to support the track once we've got the soil up. So that's why we decided to do that little bit there. Sleepers are in, as you've seen, and if the camera wants to come and look down into the back here, we've put some soil in, but I need to get some more rubble really in the bottom, so I'm not using all my soil up. But I've now got these wall ties, put a screw into the sleeper, wrap the tie round and then just tighten the screw up.
I'm hoping that shows up, it's just shadow to me, but
yeah,
hopefully it shows.
But you can see these now are holding this back wall to the sleeper front, and as all the rubble and soil and everything goes in, it's not going to want to push them apart, because these are going to take the strain and keep it all in tight. Obviously where there's the posts, it'll push against them, so I'm not worried about that. It was this section in the middle I was concerned about. But yet to do are flags in these holes. I'll do those once probably all this is filled up, because what I don't want to happen is get a bit of our rubble and something and drop it on a flag and break it that I've just put in place, so might as well leave those till last. has changed a bit is the section in the corner. So, camera wants to have a look at this. We've got another bit of stone walling here. A little bit rougher over there because I did it rather than my dad. You can definitely tell the difference.
I mean, it is meant to be a bit rougher this one.
It is meant to be a bit rougher, yeah. But
it's meant to be a bit more like a rock face than a wall.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, when you see bits my dad does, he is quite good at it, I must admit. So thanks, Dad.
He did do that one evening, didn't he? Yes.
Yeah. So that goes on here, and then if I just go and get the bit of stick from over here for our radius, you will see how this bit's going to work. And that bit goes on sort of like that, which is what that brick's sort of there for. So we come off the sleeper end here, which has been cut and put in. I don't know whether I've shown that before.
No, I don't think we have.
So yeah, that's a bit more than half, I think, a sleeper. Track comes off the end here and runs onto that block wall at the back. And we are just on still a slight gradient here. It's not perfectly flat, but not much of a gradient because I didn't want much on the corner. Just so it wasn't struggling around the corner. Between these two, I'm wanting to build a stone wall bank using smaller stones, bits of sliver of stone, which I'll show in a future episode. But that's the reason why there's a gap there and why we've sort of got two ends to work to, because I want to do something just a little bit scale looking in that section there. Once I've got that built up, I'm probably going to cast a bit of concrete at the back to widen it, so I'm not having to use as much stone all the way through, and then we'll put a bit more soil in the back and then decide if we're going to just cut these blocks down a little bit or stone top them or something, and then fill the soil up so you don't see the blocks at the back. But obviously planting in there, and nice big planting in this section, will hide all the fence and blend it all in nicely. And obviously at the front we can plant up down the front here as well. You can just about see the block at the back, but once we've got a bit more soil in here, because now it's settled down, and all the planting, you won't see any of that, you'll just see the stones. And all the planting will come round, might get a little bit more in here and things.
Oh, we've got plants that will grow in tiny gaps like that.
Yeah,
so.
and up in front of the stone wall there, and it'll all just blend in and look wonderful. That's the hope.
Well, you said the other day we kind of finished it and went, actually, it hasn't really made the space feel a lot smaller.
No.
It doesn't really show up on camera if I try and get over here around all the chairs. There's still quite a lot of patio area.
Yeah.
Which is nice because we were a bit concerned that it was going to feel small.
Yeah,
once
and
you put all this in.
the other thing we're putting this section in is so that you can put your stock boxes and loco boxes and steaming up things underneath. Because it's solid lintels on top, if somebody sat on top with an oily, watery mess, God knows what, coal, who runs coal, on top of it, it's not going to all go down into your boxes underneath, because it's solid. So that's why we did that, so we can tuck things underneath. Because there is a bit of a thing of if you put your box, obviously when you're steaming up, you put your box here and things, and then you leave it, and then it's in the way and you trip over it. So actually, as we realised down there, having a space you can tuck stuff underneath is really useful. So that'll keep it out of the way. But yeah, the area, because we've kept it to down the side of the flags, we've not come on to the flags other than the bits of sleeper at that end, which again have space underneath, so you can tuck things underneath there as well.
The camera has decided it doesn't want to focus on anything. Ah, there we go, it's found you now.
Then we haven't enclosed this space at all, and actually because of the height it doesn't feel imposing because we're about the right height. And what I did realise the other day
yes,
is that if I'm sat just like the old line, I'm looking a little bit down on it but not that far. It is
quite a nice height,
a lovely height to be able to see locos side on, which is the way I think you need to look at them. You don't in the real life look down on them many places. You're looking at them from the side, which you'll have here. So yeah, that's where we've got to. waiting on supplies for that. Waiting on rubble, which I have some ideas where I can get some rubble from around here. Put my bottom there, put some soil in. So then, while I'm waiting for those, the only other jobs I can do are down the back here, which will peek the camera through, in that we put the posts in, if you remember, down the back here, so we can actually now put something across the back wall here and do those and head off into the front.
Yeah, exciting.
Which it's quite nice because it can be under the shade there, so if it's a nice hot day like it's going to be today, I can work in the bushes and be a bit cooler. But, anyway, there you go. I'm happy to say that I have actually built it in the correct position. So it's reassuring when you lay this out and it fits. So there you go.
Yeah.
And we will see you probably in a future episode.
Well, we might do a little bit of a full garden update before we.
Oh yes.
Before
garden
we go,
update.
because we've
Plants,
done.
because it's summer and things are growing, so we will go and have
We've done a lot of walling and
that
neglected to show the garden. So we'll start with just the pond end as we're at this end, and it's pretty clear that everything's grown quite a lot since we last showed you this, and we've gained some new plants in the pond that honestly I'm not sure what they are, but a friend of ours had them in their pond and they've given us some, which are these finger-like things. If anybody knows the name of it, feel free to tell us. Nobody else seemed to know. Was it Canadian pondweed? Might have been. But we'll see how they grow. The lily did flower. I have got a picture of it, so I'll put a picture up in the top corner. And that looked very pretty, but that's given up now. But over in this corner, this little stone crop variant is growing quite nicely. Along with everything else, actually, it's starting to spread out. And the bit behind the chapel, one bit's just about got some green on it, and the other bit's still going. But other than that, things are just filling out. And if we head down the garden a bit, through the bridge still works, always good. The heathers and things on this bank are starting to fill out quite nicely, actually. If I can show the whole bank. And there's a Rob. Hello. This stuff, this is going absolutely mad and is loving life. And we keep having to take it off the track. It has an obsession with going backwards, up onto the track. But yeah, the heathers are starting to fill out, which is quite nice. Or certainly some of them have. So hopefully the other ones will grow when it gets more around to winter time, because they are a mix. Although some have grown a lot more than others. So that's starting to get an idea of what that's going to look like.
Yep. They probably want to trim.
They probably do.
Before long to that make them so they're not so leggy, but
they're looking good.
Yeah. They've
done better than they looked like they were going to do to start with. And then as we go down the bank, we still have this problem field where nothing wants to grow, really. But we're thinking there's something in the soil.
I think there's got to be now, because we've tried various things in it and none of them seem to want to grow. Even the weeds aren't particularly fussed about growing in it.
So there must be something in it. So
suggests there's something on there. So the plan is to dig this section off, probably put it in the bottom of that wall where it's well down out of the way, and then put some of the other soil that was going to go in there onto here and see if it's
because the lawn chamomile down the bottom is looking great.
Yep.
It's just nice if it was.
Yep, you can definitely smell it.
Oh yes, it has a wonderful smell. It's like apples. It's fantastic.
Yeah, the grass is obviously growing in this 2024 British summer.
Yes. The Irish moss is filling out the bank quite nicely. That's kind of made a field now. So that's good. And the lime moss is starting to bulk out. I mean,
Irish moss, lime moss, it's all the same, but
same family, yes.
There's definitely still a variation. I know that one's lightened up. But there's definitely a different look to the two.
Yeah, they've got different flowers and everything.
Yeah.
that tree or bush, I think he's going to have to find a new home.
Lemon fizz.
The lemon fizz, because I love it, but it doesn't really fit in with this bank anymore.
Yeah. That's probably going to go onto the new.
Yes, we'll put it down on a new bit.
I suspect.
The wild field is looking fabulous. It just does what it likes on that field, really, but it looks quite good. I like it. The little culvert. We haven't really had the culvert on much because we've realised it needs to be non-solar powered, haven't we, really?
Yeah, I suspect
it's going to have to be battery powered.
Battery to get a consistent speed out of it, which I haven't yet wired together.
The only new plant we have is some thyme. I will put the name on screen of its proper name, but a friend of ours brought that. Thank you, Matt, again. But, yes, and more of that. I know, I can't. I didn't think we'd got so much of it. What? Oh, you just want to film the name. Oh, there you go. There you go, it's that.
I'll save some editing later.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think we had so much of the, whatever this is. But whatever it is, it loves our line. Oh,
it's done a nice job because these bricks on the top here, we obviously just broke them with a bolster, so they're not all perfectly the same length. So they're a little bit rough round here. And I was thinking of cutting them because I wasn't happy with the fact that it was a bit all over the place. But now they've done that, you can't see it, so it's fine.
It's great. It's done what
you
we
can't
want.
see there.
Well,
it's not perfect on top because
that is why we put them there.
That's why we put them there, just to hide that edge.
The tree looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
That's starting to bulk out now. And this bank is starting. Well, we moved quite a lot off this bank, so it looks a bit bare in places now. But
it does a bit at the top because we keep moving things. But
the Leptonella's lovely.
This is almost our nursery.
It is a bit, yeah.
Bank is this one because we let things sort of grow up a bit,
mainly,
and then we move them.
So all of this is Leptonella, which I don't think it's lovely. I like that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like slightly feathery.
Yeah, this is another bit of line moss that can now be split again and put a bit over there.
And then we've got the wild sedum stuff that we got off a roof, and it has basically taken over the entire bank. It loves it. Absolutely loves it.
These are a bit more of Irish moss, but again a slightly different one.
Yeah,
I think
that was the stuff we found out the front in a plant pot.
Yeah.
So that's some sort of wild variation.
This is a bit lower down somehow compared to the one that's on the bank. It keeps itself more
this is a
to
bit
a ball.
of a herb garden up here because I can't think what it was. I did look up what this stuff was. But that is you can use it in cooking, whatever it is. I can't think now.
Yeah, that came from.
Oh, it might be oregano, I think. If that's wrong, I'll put it on screen. But it's going to have to move, I think. But it was already planted somewhere else.
Yes, I just stuck it up on top, see if it would keep growing, and it has done.
It has done.
So again, that might be another one that goes down there.
And then this plant, which I don't know the name of, that might be Edelweiss.
Yes,
we have
I think
one
it is.
down there as well. That's happy. So, but yeah, everything's starting to fill out quite nicely.
Yeah, there's still gaps in places, but we can spread stuff out and.
This little one
fill
in there,
those,
which I don't think I can show because it's just shadow. But there's a little plant in there that's just growing. It's just a black hole. It's too much sunlight. Shouldn't complain really. But yeah, it's looking good. Even the bits down there. So on that note, I think we'll say goodbye.
Goodbye.
We'll see you in the next one.
Are you already filming?
Yes.
I didn't hear it beep. Afternoon.
It's getting breezy again.
It is. Yeah, today it's got so bad today as the 2024 weather in the UK that I've actually worn the zip out on my jumper because it's been on and off that many times with burning hot sunshine, followed by rain, I've had to have these out constantly to cover cement, uncover cement, cover cement, uncover cement. Quite frustrating this year with the weather, because on the whole it's good enough to wall if you average it out and build a railway, but it's very up and down. So, anyway, can't complain, it's getting done. There you go, sat on top of it now.